Nobody talks about the darkness. When you see the trophy, when you see the summit, when you see the smile in the final photo, everything looks perfect. But nobody tells you about the nights. You stared at the ceiling at 3 a.m., wondering if you had gone crazy for chasing a dream that didn't love you back. Nobody tells you about the cold you feel in your chest when you fail. Not once, but 10 times. And the world keeps turning as if your pain didn't matter. That moment, right there, when you are on your knees, and the weight of the world seems unbearable. That is the price. Most people think pain is a sign to stop. They are wrong. Pain is not a stop sign. Pain is the toll you must pay to cross over into the person you are becoming. If you are hurting today, if you feel like you can't take anymore, pay attention, because the lesson has just begun. We live in a culture obsessed with the result. We want the gold, but we don't want the fire that melts it. We want the sunrise, but we are afraid to walk alone through the darkest night. But I will tell you a truth we often forget. Success is not a teacher. Success is terrible at teaching. Success strokes your ego, makes you feel invincible, makes you forget your weaknesses. But pain is the most honest and brutal teacher you will ever meet. Pain doesn't lie to you. It strips you naked. It removes your excuses. It removes your arrogance and leaves you alone with your truth. This message is for you. For the one in the middle of the storm right now. For the one who tried to build something and watched it crumble. For the one who feels they gave everything and received nothing in return. You might feel like this suffering is a punishment, that life is unfair to you. But I want to ask you to open your mind to a different perspective. What you are feeling is not a punishment, it is a preparation. Life is not burying you, it is planting you. And to grow, the seed must be completely broken. Imagine for a moment a sculptor standing before a giant block of marble. To the marble, every strike of the chisel is a tragedy. It is a trauma. It is a piece of itself being violently ripped away. If the marble could feel, it would scream, "Why are you doing this to me? Why are you hitting me? You are destroying me." From the stone's perspective, it is the end of the world. But the sculptor, who has the full vision, knows he is not destroying the stone. He is liberating the masterpiece that lives within it. You are that block of marble, and the pain you feel, those blows of life that seem unfair, are the chisel. Think about the hardest moments of your life. Those times you were betrayed, when you lost money, when you were rejected, when you felt completely humiliated. In that moment, you only felt the wound. But if you look back now, with the wisdom of time, you will realize something profound. In the midst of that agony, you developed something you didn't have before. Maybe it was patience. Maybe it was courage. Maybe it was the ability to stand alone and not need anyone's validation. That pain was the architect of your character. The problem is that when we are in the valley, we don't see the mountain. We only see the shadow. There is a particular loneliness that comes before success. It is that stage where your old friends no longer understand you, and your new results haven't arrived yet. It is the desert, and this is where most people quit. They quit because it hurts too much to change. They quit because it is easier to be a victim than a warrior in training, but you are still here. And the fact that you are still here, feeling that burn, means life is not done with you yet. Pain teaches you to let go. Before you succeed, you must lose who you thought you were. You have to let that version of you die, the one that is lazy, the one that is fearful, the one that seeks comfort. And letting a part of yourself die hurts. It is a grieving process. You mourn your old life, your old security, but you cannot carry that luggage to the top. The mountain is steep, and you can only climb if you are light, if you are strong, if you are essential. Pain burns away everything that is extra until only what is real remains. Let's talk about resilience. You are not born with it. Resilience is not a genetic gift, it is a callus. And how is a callus formed? Through repeated friction, through pressure, through damage to the skin that heals tougher than before. Your mind works the same way. You cannot have an unbreakable mind if it has never been tested. Success requires you to handle pressure, criticism, and responsibility. How could you hold the weight of success if you haven't learned to hold the weight of defeat? Pain gives you something money cannot buy. Depth. People who have suffered, who have hit rock bottom, and come back have a different look in their eyes. They have a gravity, a seriousness in their purpose that intimidates those who have had an easy life. When you have been in the dark, you don't fear the shadows. When you have lost everything, you lose the fear of losing, and that makes you dangerous. That makes you unstoppable. Because what can they do to you? What can they take from you that life hasn't already taken? This stage of suffering is your laboratory. This is where you experiment with your will. This is where you discover you can endure more than you thought. Every time you stand up after falling. Without fire, steel is just dirt. Without pressure, the diamond is just coal. There comes a moment, if you hold on long enough, where the perspective shifts. You stop asking, "Why me?" And you start asking, "What is this for?" You stop seeing pain as an enemy and start seeing it as a coach. I remember moments in my own life where I thought it was the end, where the failure was so public and so painful I wanted to disappear. But it was in that silence, in that humiliation, where I found a voice I didn't know I had. You realize that success is not reaching a destination where everything is easy. Success is the ability to walk through hell without burning. And the only way to develop that fireproof skin is by getting burned first. You have to embrace the struggle. You have to fall in love with the process, not just the result. You have to look at your scars and not see ugliness, but see medals of honor, because each of them tells a story. Here I broke, but here I healed. Here I fell, but here I rose stronger. Pain has a sacred function. It destroys your ego so your soul can be born. It destroys your illusions so you can see reality. And when you finally reach what you were looking for, when you finally touch success, you don't value it for the object itself. You value it for the person you had to become to get it. That is the true trophy. Money can be lost, fame can leave, but the person you become through the fire, that is yours forever. No one can take that away. So, if you are hurting today, lift your head. Do not look down. You are in the workshop of life, and you are being forged. Do not wish for it to be easier. Wish to be better. Do not ask for fewer problems. Ask for more skills. The pain will pass. The night will end. But the strength you are gaining today, that will stay with you until the last of your days. Success is waiting on the other side of this valley. But you have to cross it. You have to bleed a little. You have to sweat. You have to cry. And then, when you dry your tears and look back, you will understand that everything, absolutely everything, was necessary. Do not give up now. You are one step, one decision, one day away from seeing the light. Pain is temporary. The glory of not giving up, that is eternal. Keep walking, keep fighting. Your story is not over yet. The best part is just beginning.